Twilight of the Gods, episode 6. Let's watch the episode.
And the women, they sang, for they were finally free. It is said, the great mill is grinding there still, which is why there is salt in the sea.
Whether it's true or not, it's a storytelling time.
My father used to tell me that story at bedtime. Who else has a giant's tail?
I do. Now, hear of Odin's... They'd have Loki's head a-spitted. Enter Loki, who appeared to Svadilfari as a beautiful mare. The stallion smelled her heat, and so entered Loki.
Oh, so this is enter Loki, enter Loki. I can see Loki doing that though.
Loki, who returned months later with a strange young colt he'd mothered. He gave the horse to Odin as a gift, and the gods learned that Loki was willing to fuck even himself, if it was to his advantage.
It's got a funny story, to be honest. And also can see that happening.
Egil has a patron god. Egil, when you make love, are you the stallion or the mare?
You want to know if I like being fucked?
It sucks, you work hard, work so hard on something, but nothing really works out, you want to say something, you can't find anything, it sucks.
Help! Please! Somebody help! Stop! I'm begging you, please! Stop!
So why did they attack him? We're about to find out. Or maybe they just wanted to steal his stuff.
My name is Adric. Odd.
Or he didn't see that coming, he thought he won the fight, but even though he was telling the truth, he died because of saying something.
My knife had carved true, as always.
The goal was death. The wolf skin ate Alvar. Alvar ate the child. Alvar was a wolf.
So he's off at telling his own story about how he became to be who he is right now, right?
Egil.
I lived a bad life. I want to die better.
You shall have that chance. It's too much.
Heror.
Oh, I understand where Hope is coming from. Like, she lost 8 children and somebody talking about eating child.
So much out there. How are you so calm?
I didn't see that coming, him running naked.
Will you tell one?
I have no stories. I've seen a score of winters. I've seen monsters. I've seen gods up close, but...
Wished to see her mother's home. She loved her land and her family and her foolish, foolish brothers.
The brothers in the festival is that they're, dead.
She
True.
felt alone.
At all. I still can't get my head around, she fell in the shit house. She it's still funny. Oh, so that's how, yeah, that's how they made.
Of stories. My son, the Lord of Storms.
Odin. Odin. So that's Odin. I didn't expect to see Odin at the end. I think it's more of like he's possessing somebody. Because that guy was the one who was telling the story, he's been the one who was with him actually. But yeah, this episode, although it's not really like one action packed one, it's a very one nude one. That being said, I did love the story part of telling, like when they're telling the stories, how they became to be who they are, what they faced, and I always like that when episodes usually, or when a series does that, because when a series does that, we can get to learn these more about the characters. If you have some questions about how they became to be, sometimes, not all of the times, but sometimes they answer like 75% of the background, like you get to know a lot of like the characters, therefore you get to feel that like, oh yeah, experience, like, oh yeah, uh I now care about this, or I hate him, or what, did he do that, or did she do that, or she do that, all of that comes into play when you are seeing their backstory. And this one is one of the episodes. Now this usually is usually done in like the second or third episode of each series. Majority of the series is usually done that in those episodes, but this one, it's like we are preparing for war. So when these characters, some of them dies, at least you know their backstory, and I think that's what they did in this episode, because I think the last two episodes will be mostly action packed. At least I would think so, but I don't know. I'm just thinking that it will be like that because obviously they're like 30 minutes long, therefore they don't really have a lot of time to do more story. They only have time to just exceed the more, like, in the action packed one. A lot of questions like, are they going to win the war, what is really going to happen? And I doubt that they're going to do that, because I think there's going to be season two, I think, but I don't know. They might cancel this, they might actually make a season two. Either way, I feel like this, no, like if this show did make the studio or Netflix instead, if it did bring some profit, a lot of profit, obviously they are going to make the second one. That also will depend on how it ends, but I feel like there's going to be I feel like all the stories are not, or all so far the storylines are not going to be finished by the end of the series, the season one. So I feel like they have to make a season two, but I want that majority of the story to at least end in uh this series, just in case that the series, if it doesn't get renewed for the second season, majority of the storylines, especially the important ones, would have been covered. And well, at least we will believe with some questions that we haven't answered yet, but at least there will be that feeling like, at least majority of the story is actually answered. So yeah, that's at least what I want. But right now, this is episode, well, last half of it was, there wasn't really anything to talk about, because I mean, if you've seen the episode, you know why I did. There's no way I could talk about that. You just have to just skip over that part, And also, don't watch this with kids. This is not a series for kids. Don't ever think about sitting down, watching this one with the kids. Just because it's animated doesn't mean it's made for kids. Like, it doesn't mean that. So don't, like, it's above 18 or even 21. So anyway, guys, if you like my reaction, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think about this episode? With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.